John Krasinski tackles a family-friendly tale about imaginary friends. Did it stick the landing? Well, if you saw my out-of-theater reaction on the film, I enjoyed it for the majority, but there were some things that I think could have been improved on. There is a major spoiler that I will be going into later in the video, so if you don't want to know what happens in the later portions of the film, you can skip that portion and go to my overall thoughts. If is directed by John Krasinski, it is rated PG with a runtime of 1 hour and 44 minutes. After discovering that she can see imaginary friends, a girl embarks on a magical adventure to reconnect forgotten ifs with their kids. I'll start off by saying main star Kaylee Fleming, who plays Bee, was phenomenal in this film. She struck that perfect balance of being a kid, but also acting very mature and wise for her age, as she was pretty much forced to grow up due to something that happened when she was younger. So something that no child should ever have to go through. And I think she handled that balance extremely well. I also really liked Steve Carell as Blue. His humor is very childlike and goofy, but it works for someone like Steve Carell because he can do funny in all different aspects, whether it's in a kid's film like Despicable Me or a more adult comedy like The Office. He just knows how to do funny in all different ways, so his character was a lot of fun to watch. I also really enjoyed the chemistry Kaylee had with her co-star Ryan Reynolds, who plays Cal in the film. He's not as Ryan Reynolds-y, I guess you could put it. He was a little more toned down, a little more jaded because he's forced to kind of relocate these ifs and he doesn't want to. But the way he would bounce off of Kaylee and even those heartfelt moments that he has with her in the film were genuine and were fun to watch. Okay, now we're gonna get into some things that I didn't quite like about the film. Personally, even though I love Krasinski as an actor, as a director, I felt he was not fit to be casted as Kaylee's dad in this movie. He was very goofy and almost whimsical in his portrayal, which would have worked for someone like Ryan Reynolds, for example, but with him it just felt kind of awkward. So I kept thinking if the two of them had switched roles and Krasinski played Cal and Reynolds played her father, it honestly would have made more sense, at least to me. Krasinski seemed like he was just trying too hard, and it seemed like he was trying to be like Ryan Reynolds in those moments, so it just seemed odd to me. There's also a lot of cameos from some pretty notable people in Hollywood who play various ifs in the film, and I got really distracted by these moments. They just felt like they were just thrown in just to have some more star power without any kind of rhyme or reason, even though they probably only had 1 or 2 lines. I just got really distracted by it all and trying to figure out, oh, who's voicing this character and who's voicing that character. It just kind of took me out of the experience. It just didn't feel necessary. Okay, at this point, I'm gonna be going into a heavy spoiler here, so if you do not want to know what happens in the later portion of the film, skip to my overall score. So Ryan's character of Cal is pretty integral to the overall story. At first, I thought his introduction just was very random and awkward, and also there wasn't much backstory to him and why he could see these ifs too. All he said was that he was able to see them for as long as he could remember, and then it was never brought up again at that point. So I was kind of left going, oh, okay then. But then it is revealed that Cal is actually Bee's imaginary friend from when she was younger. I want to go back to my statement of Krasinski and Reynolds kind of switching performances here, as I feel Krasinski would have fit perfectly as Cal, and his love of Bee would have had a more symbolic meaning to it, so I felt that there was a missed opportunity there. But overall, I'm going to give If a score of 3 out of 5. The message of never losing your childhood as you grow up is fully on display in a very heartwarming way, with a stellar lead performance in Kaylee Fleming, who has great chemistry with co-lead Ryan Reynolds. Steve Carell is having a ball as Blue, and despite the simple jokes he made, I thoroughly enjoyed how he handled them. John Krasinski is unfortunately miscast as Kaylee's father, with some very awkward humor from him that didn't quite land, and the overstuffed cameos from other notable actors distracted me quite a bit. But now it comes down to you guys. What did you think of If? Did you happen to check it out yet? What was your imaginary friend growing up? Did you have one growing up? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and sub to the channel to be notified when my next film review will drop. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, keep it classy and keep it geeky.
And Mom said too much candy isn't good for your tummy, but I said, oh my God.
Wow, my eyes can taste it.
I'm so sorry.
You don't taste that in your eyeballs?